What's up, everybody? Circus here coming at you with this week's Rogue Deck Roundup. And I got Kamal with me because he loves Rogue decks and rounding them up, don't you?
I sure do, and glad to be here this week.
I'm always glad to be here. Actually, I never leave the DLE offices. I just pretty much live here. All right, so why don't we get into this? If you're new to the series, what we do here is we track decks during the week and see how they perform in tournaments. And then we see how they finish, and then we assign them points based on how they finish. So if a deck gets a first place finish, we'll give it 6 points. A second place finish is 4 points. A top 4 is 2 points, and a top 8 is a single point. Now, the tournaments that we track have to have a consistent format so that these results mean something. And it's very important that each tournament has rounds of Swiss and goes into a top 32 and has a side deck format, a 7-card side deck to be exact, and you can side in a skill. Now, past couple weeks, we've had to drop a couple tournaments from our list, which some people said makes us illegitimate. I, sir, do not agree, but here we are. And those tournaments are back, and we welcome them with open arms.
Yes, we do. So welcome back to the Meta Weekly and the Meta Freakly this week. Only the Meta Freakly Friday.
Yeah.
The Meta Freakly Sunday was still no side deck, but going forward, unless things change, seems like they will be side deck as well.
Right, so we're going to have roughly like 10 tournaments every week. Because Battle Phase Sunday didn't make it this past week because it was the end of the KC Cup, so we didn't hold the tournament. But then come Monday, we started holding tournaments again. And there you go. So we'll have the Meta Freakly Sunday, the Meta Weekly, and the Meta Freakly Friday every week also. So there'll be like 8, 9, 10 tournaments every week going forward. So that's nice. Lots of data. You got to love that. All right, let's get into this then. Who could be in first place?
Yep.
It's a rogue deck kind of week. I love this. Our winner did actually get a tournament victory, which can be kind of rare in this format. But here we go. In first place, it's your boy Magnets. Look at that.
It's your boy Magnets. Magnets are proving that they are the most consistent rogue deck, man. They have won a tournament 2 weeks in a row now.
Yep.
2 weeks in a row. And they made use of 2 different strategies in both of those tournaments. But the following close behind them, Cyber Dragons, Thunder Dragons, and what the heck? Who told you could put Dark Magician on the rogue decks? Who said you could do that?
Where else do they belong?
Nowhere. Get them out of here.
No, just get them out of here. They don't
delete it right now. Delete the name out of there.
They don't belong on the power rankings. They don't belong in the rogue decks. We'll have to have this week in dead decks, maybe.
God, they're soiling the rogue decks. Look.
But I'm glad to see you Senju's back up there. Look at that. We haven't seen them for a little while.
Yeah, Senju's back. Desperado back with the vengeance. They have a considerable amount of tournament representation, depending on which tournament. But so yeah, going forward, look at them. But let's head off into our first place deck.
First place. Look at that. 7 points. Winning the Meta Freakly Friday with Urbel. Congratulations to him.
And Urbel was our Battle Phase Friday champion from last week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a Battle Phase tournament. He won with Magnets using Bring It. Now he's using See You Later and his side deck, even though it's not on screen. He is running 3 DD Crow, 2 Artifact Lancer. He's siding Bring It and Destiny Hero Plasma. Okay. And yeah, so that is kind of like the other half when you want to play a version that needs heavy graveyard removal, and you're playing against a deck that has a monster that you've struggled to out a lot, because this magnet deck is like the core. Everything you need for your magnets to flow easily into each other, revive them, and bounce your opponent's monsters back with a field spell. That is the gameplay loop for magnets, and it's very effective, especially when paired with See You Later. You're able to get 2 magnet effects off in a turn sometimes, which is very, very good in seeing your boss monster right away. And because magnets don't have any limited cards, you can use Mighty Stretch, Cosmic Cyclone as you wish. And the extra deck in magnets, I talk about every time we talk about it, but they did give them some newfound utility that they can use very well just until they get their Berserkion and kill you.
Well, probably the hardest card for most people to get in this deck will be the Powerful Rebirth, just because it's from such an old box, and most people probably don't have 3 of them.
Well, hey, if you have cards like Walla D and Treacherous Trap Hole, and you don't feel like you have any other better options, Powerful Rebirth is not a terrible option for your Dream SR. There's not too many good options for that besides Wallaby and Tretch. So if you have those already, consider Powerful Rebirth if you want to pick up Magnets.
There
Easy
you
way to
go.
get it.
So Magnus becoming a consistent rogue deck. I don't think they're ready to move up to the power rankings yet, but
Not yet. After the ban list, though, we'll see.
we'll see. Maybe.
We'll see.
All right, moving on to second place here. Cyber Dragons. Look at this. They're running 5 monsters. I swear every time we see this deck, there's
That
less
is
monsters.
insane to me. 5 monsters. I personally cannot even comprehend how you are playing this deck with 5 monsters.
Because you always open the core. It doesn't matter how many. You could play 3 monsters and be fine. As long as they're always the core.
I really don't get it because I don't see, like, if you open like a full spell hand, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right.
Like, that's what I want to know. You really do have to open core here, but
Yep.
no tournament win on the week for Cyber Dragons, although it will get 4 tournament placements, 21 representation, and a 14% conversion rate. So this is the best performing list. If other people are using this and this is working, maybe try it out. But I don't see how you're winning with 5 monsters. I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, it must be doing all right. Top 4 in the Meta Weekly. Can't complain.
Yeah.
And it did get a top 4 in Battle Phase Saturday. That would be top 8 in Battle Phase Saturday and top 8 in Battle Phase Tuesday. So, I mean,
probably relying a lot on Cyber Style.
Yeah.
If you can see here, they're running 3 Cybernetic Fusion support, which I've never seen that before. Recently, I've seen 2 because you need to see it instead of Cosmic now, so you can proc Cyber Style.
Yeah.
But 3 means that not only do you want to see 1, but you want to see 2 if possible, so you can summon 3 Cyber Protos to use them with your Fusion Gate to make anything you need.
Does that mean it's up for the ban list? Because usually Konami does not like decks that rely entirely on a skill. Well, obviously they're relying on the skill to get this deck going. That's their engine now, right? The fusion support into Cyber Style.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they can hit Cyber Style again. I don't think so. They all like anymore, and it's like it's not even gonna work for Cyber Dragons. And if a Cyber Style skill doesn't work for Cyber Dragons, what's the point in using it? You know?
Exactly.
Well, I think it's good where it is.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Ban list coming out after this video releases, so make sure to check that out. All right. Next deck on the list is Thunder Dragons. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Thunder Dragons getting up there this week, but just falling short of a victory in Battle Phase Rising Sun.
Well, look who's playing the deck.
Lord
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
Good old Lord of Scrubs.
Decided to give Thunder Dragons a shot this week, and they fell victim to Control Shiranui in the finals. It was a quick 2-0. He didn't have a chance. Every single move he made was floodgated, needle sealing, Phoenix Chain. He is playing Jinzo, though. That did help him a lot to get to the semifinals. Busted it out against a lot of decks that did not expect to see it.
Yeah. Just a Jinzo out of nowhere. You're like, who is this man?
And yeah, the tight Thunder Dragon list did do very well for him. He was able to float and stay alive in duels for much, much longer than I thought it. Even that of against the Control Shiranui. He did fight the good fight for a long time, but he was just unable to out-resource Shiranui.
I could see that. Lord of Scrubs, when he actually wins a tournament, we're going to throw a party for him live on stream. So good luck, buddy.
Yep.
He got kicked out of the secret Dragunity Discord.
For betraying them.
Yep. Traitor!
Played a different dragon deck.
Yeah. All right, 4th place. Everybody's calling it the insect deck right now. But I kind of like this one, so I had to put it on there. Because look at what this man's playing.
He is playing Deepsea Diva, and this was in Battle Phase Rising Sun as well. This is probably the best. It is the best performing list on the week, and this is the Labyrinth Builder build with Deepsea Diva. Basically, you send 2 cards to your hand, back to your deck to summon Labyrinth Builder, and then you also summon Deepsea Diva, so then you can make Quarian Gendrax and banish 3 of your opponent's monsters.
Did it work pretty well?
Got top 4, so it did do pretty good, but he did straight up lose to Control Shiranui in this.
Okay.
In the top 4. So.
It just seems like you're just like putting 2 decks together and hoping that they
By the
match.
way, this is not Dark Magician, and this is not indicative of all Dark Magician lists. This is just Chaos Paladin's Dark Magician list. No one else plays it like this.
But it did well enough. It did well
enough, yes.
scored 30% of its points. So
Hmm.
I guess, yeah, there you go. I just had to put it on there because I thought it looked spicy.
Yeah, that's just it. Also making use of Eye of Timaeus. Most people cut that now just for the hyper consistency of the core Dark Magician list.
Hmm.
But yeah, this guy's just not playing Cosmic Cyclone. Really, that's it.
All right, moving on to the next deck. This is one I like. A lot of people hate it because it's so slow. We see a lot of 50-minute games with it, but the Bob Ross deck, and that is Weather Painters. Look at
Yeah,
that. Look at that extra deck. They're very spicy with that now.
yeah, I've had to watch a lot of Weather Painters now that I'm actually doing a tournament every week. And this deck, I feel that this deck sees a lot of its winning in Swiss and early rounds of top cut, basically because people don't know when to interrupt cards, what to do.
Right.
And there is a little bug we found with this deck in the tournament on
Oh, what's
Thursday.
that?
So you can activate your Weather Painter effects to copy the spell and traps. You can activate them in the same window that counter traps activate.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a bug. They're not supposed to be able to do that. So, like an example, what happened in the tournament? Black Rose Dragon was summoned, and before Black Rose's effect went off, this guy was able to activate all his Weather Painter's effects, like before the effect even
Get
activated.
him to leave the field.
Yeah. So before, like usually, Black Rose's effect activates as soon as it hits the field. You can chain. No, this guy's effect happened first, and then the Black Rose effect chained. So it was pretty
Interesting.
interesting
Okay.
how that happened. So that's a little bug that's going on. But right now, this deck is still pretty consistent. 6 ways to stop them from dying, leaving their 0 attack point monsters on the field just to stall until they can bounce your entire board to your hand. And yeah, they can Xyz summon if they want. For whatever reason, they can Xyz summon.
They got all the weird little ones, right? Like
Yeah.
the orchestra or whatever they are. They got
Yeah, the Jins. They got the
yeah.
Jin, Gritosaurus,
Yep.
Leviathan Dragon.
Did you see Antidote Nurse? I would like to see that pulled off
Antidote Nurse. I did not
because
see
it
it play.
takes 3 level 3s to pull off. So I've been wanting to see that in competitive play sometime.
Maybe this week.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, we'll do overall representation here, and that was Magnets, Cyber Dragons, and Dark Magician all tied
Ooh,
with
we'll tie for
21.
first.
Look,
Nice.
I keep hinting at you Senjus. Look at you Senjus down there, 2. But
2. They just got a couple top 8s this week.
let's look at conversion rates.
Okay.
Bam!
Oh gosh, they got a couple top 8s.
They got a couple 100% conversion rate.
You'll send
Best
you
deck in the format.
confirm best rogue deck at least. The numbers don't lie.
You can't beat it, man. And that's why we
Yeah.
have on the power rankings
But
a 20 you have to play it 20
something
times.
something to really look at. Magnets and Thunder Dragons are the 2 decks that I would say are the closest to having the closest actual rogue decks to having meta deck representation,
Mm-hmm.
and they are still touting healthy conversion rates into the top 8, 10 and 13% respectively. So those
Definitely
are the decks.
not 100%. I'm just gonna say that.
Definitely not 100%, but those are the 2 decks I'm looking at for after the ban list at a possible graduation. So yeah.
All right. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Top 8 finishes just in general this week. Cyber Dragons, Dark Magician, not bad. You Senjus, just you can't
Mhm.
stop them this week. We did see megaliths. They're still here. They're still around. They did have some decent representation this week, but just a single top 8.
And Desperado, we didn't get to talk about it, but Desperado is back and with a vengeance. Super Team Buddy Force makes that deck ridiculous. You can summon Desperado from your deck straight up. Like it's
Oh,
crazy.
that's gross. That is just gross. Megaliths actually got
crazy.
second place in a tournament, so that's not bad for them. And then most victories this week was just Magnets with 1.
Just magnets. All right.
Just the Magnets. So there you go. There's your rogue deck roundup. I hope you enjoyed it. We always have a lot of fun doing this one. These are the decks that if you ask a lot of people about, they just say they're doo-doo. But we don't think so. Not here.
Due to us.
That's right. All right, we're going to get out of here. Make sure to get in our Discord because that's where we host all of our tournaments. The Discord is free. The tournaments are free. We also have a great new player help channel where you can go in there and get your questions answered about decks like these or any deck, really. And what else is going on? We got Damage Step coming up. That's our pay tournament, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And Kamel's got his tournament on Thursday mornings at like 3 a.m. called Battle
6
Phase
a.m.
6 a.m.
Eastern.
Battle Phase of the Rising Sun. All
Don't
right.
miss it.
We're going to get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Kamel.
Peace out.
See ya.